flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, well, tonight is the start of a new way of conducting a meeting. This one's we're going to open with the Devils Lake Job Development Authority. And we'll conduct that business, and then after that we've done with that, then we'll close that meeting and open up the city commission meeting. So under the Devils Lake Job Development Authority, first item of business is appointment of officers. Okay, as Spencer has pointed out at the last meeting, that we'll have a procedure here.
Mayor Mo, members of the commission authority, I would just think of this as kind of like an organizational meeting similar to that the one you have every 2 years with the city commission. One thing that you guys will need to do for North Dakota Century Code is appoint officers, and really from a starting point for consideration and propose is just to continue like the city commission to have the president of the authority be the mayor, so Mayor Mo, and then vice president as Vice President Hash, and then treasurer and secretary. I just, for a starting point, put treasurer Commissioner Robbins and then secretary Commissioner Pierce. Again, it's a starting point. I think I teed up the fact that we would keep it consistent with that of the commission as far as the president and the vice president. To also note, the president and the vice president are also now on the Forward Devils Lake board, so they'll be a part of the soon to be appointed executive committee to review and engage in those discussions. Again, it's a starting point. It's the commission, or it's the authority's prerogative to appoint their officers, but as a starting point, this is what we have before you. And so if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer. Otherwise, I'll turn it back over to you.
Okay, we would need a motion to approve this with the commission. So
I'll make a motion to approve the officers as presented.
we have a motion by Commissioner Pierce.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Hatch. Any discussion by the commission on this?
Mayor Mo, I should also add, so these are supposed to be on 3-year staggered terms where, a third of them are supposed to come off. The officers themselves will be appointed every January, so president, vice president, and so on. But being that you're a member of the board of directors of the Jobs Development Authority, inherently to our city commissioners, I wouldn't read too much into the dates. We just need to put them, and they are as they are laid out.
Okay. Any further discussion? All in favor of this, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 2 would be designation of the depositor of the JDA funds.
Mayor Mo, members of the authority, also just a formality, designate the depositor. We currently bank with Bremer Bank, and it'd just be administratively expedient and efficient to also have the authority's bank account with Bremer Bank.
Was there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve Bremer Bank as just a designated depositor.
Commissioner Robbins. Commissioner Pierce. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appointment of authorized agents.
Again, need somebody to sign agreements and sign the checks. So just the same as the city commission authorized agent, President Mo, myself, the city auditor, and then Brina as the deputy auditor. Just for full disclosure, so the idea is that the executive committee, which is Forward Devils Lake Board, which will be the Forward Devils Lake Board of Directors, will approve the list of bills within the funding parameters set by the authority, and then we, Brina and myself, and then signed by the mayor, will send out the checks in the back. So that's why.
We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the appointment of authorized agents.
Commissioner Robbins.
I'll second the motion.
Commissioner Pierce. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 4, assignment and assumption agreement with Forward Devils Lake.
Mayor Mo, members of the authority, this is the assignment and assumption agreement, basically taking all of the receivables and payables and property that was previously the business of the Jobs Development Authority when we were contracting with Forward Devils Lake, now shifting the assets, liabilities, and responsibilities and obligations to this newly created authority. And as you'll see in Exhibit 1, we have the accounts receivable, which are all those loans, facade loans, flex-based, multifamily, and small business revolving loan, when the first payment starts and when the last payment begins. And those are all receivable and goes out to, I think the last year on here is 2041. So if you look at that, the authority has over the next 17 years or so, over $1 million in receivables out there, which is a lot of legwork. And some of these are very long in the making. Some of these investments have been already 10 years past. So revolves very slowly. And then the payables, which are flex-based and multifamily loans. And then also have lists of property. These are 2 pieces of property that are in the industrial park. They are in Forward Devils Lake's name. And it is recommended to put those in the Devils Lake Jobs Development Authority's name. This agreement, if approved by the authority, won't become final until the Forward Devils Lake board meets. Brad is ill and they are canceling the Forward Devils Lake meeting for tomorrow, so they won't meet till early February. So will not be final until they sign on as well. So would recommend approval. And I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. The city attorney is not here, but again, we'll do my best.
Well, we need a motion first.
I'll make a motion to approve the assignment and assumption agreement with Forward Devils Lake.
I'll second. Robbins, Commissioner Hatch, second. Any further discussion? Concerns, questions, whatever? Suppose we should have a roll call for this one.
Sure. Commissioner Hash?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
President Wong?
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 5, appointment of executive committee, Forward Devils Lake Board of Directors.
It is recommended that the Devils Lake Jobs Development Authority appoint the Forward Devils Lake Board of Directors as the executive committee, as is permitted by North Dakota Century Code. And the next item is an agreement which will detail kind of the parameters of what they should expect to be doing and the leeway that they have as far as serving as the executive committee. But first off, I would just request that you guys appoint them as the executive committee.
Is there a
I'll
motion?
make a motion to appoint Forward Devils Lake Board of Directors as the executive committee.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Pierce. Is there a second?
Second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 6, agreement with Forward Devils Lake.
So attaches an operating agreement, which lays out that primarily the financial relationship between the 2 entities will remain the same as far as the mill levy and the sales tax, both of those to be set by the city commission during their annual budget process. Forward Devils Lake can continue to occupy space at Devils Lake City Hall. And as the executive committee, they have the authority to approve applications for programs within the financing limits set by the Jobs Development Authority. For example, in the 2020 program, the city commission had allocated $30,000 for 5 years, or was it $20,000? We'll just say it was $20,000 over the course of 5 years for a total of $100,000. So the 2020 applications come in, approved by the executive committee, so long as the specific individuals and whatnot, they can approve it and allocate the funds, so long as it's within that $100,000 or $20,000 per year, depending on where we're at. And those parameters have been set in the past. At the next meeting, we'll give you a full rundown of what those specifically are in detail with all these programs. So they have the authority to approve the list of bills like we talked about. And then expend up to $10,000 from the growth fund for due diligence and research efforts. And with that, it's recommended that that be permitted. But I would also note that instead of having only one member of the city commission or Jobs Development Authority on the board of directors, there's now 2. So there is that involvement from community leadership at that level. And then also they're supposed to make at the end of the day, Forward Devils Lake Board of Directors and Forward Devils Lake needs to be the recommendation entity to the Jobs Development Authority. And that's what they're designed to do. And we'll have them periodically here to give you guys updates. And that's pretty much all that is in there.
Okay.
So,
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with Fort Devils Lake.
Commissioner Robbins,
I'll second.
second Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And item number 7, last one, list of bills that are submitted here.
Mayor Mo, members of the authority, it was expected that Fort Devils Lake would approve these at their meeting tomorrow. Again, they're not going to meet. And so just so we can get these payments out the door, requesting that the authority approve the list of bills. It entails about $10,000 in interest buy down and career builders payments that Fort Devils Lake has made here towards the end of the year. As we were kind of waiting to get this formal process set up. And then as well as 4 invoices that we have in the file that we like to send out and pay as soon as possible, as they were sent out in late December, which are also the bank or 2 of them to the Bank in North Dakota, the other to the North Dakota Career Builders, and then Impact Dakota for interest buy down and training and career builders.
Okay.
A total of about $30,000.
How much?
$30,000. So it's $10,066.43 to Fort Devils Lake, and then $20,166.62 to the various organizations.
Okay, and
Or was that the total for the top and the bottom?
No, there's just 2 different totals. If you just approve the list of bills, it'll be sufficient. Sorry.
And that.
Brad was going to be here to give you an update on the RWIP and request the release of some funds that
No,
the authority.
they're 2 separate.
They're 2 separate.
Yeah, that's just for these.
I'm gonna add that, but doesn't 20, but that's all right.
Yeah, that's true too.
Okay.
Oh,
I
shoot.
see
No, it
what
should be
you're
10. It should be 1066. I did my
Okay.
math wrong.
Okay, not 2066.
It's 1066.
Okay.
10.
12th grade, I made
Oh,
it
you
all the way
got
through
it.
it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
good
But
thing
if
you
you approve
got.
the list of bills, it'll
All right.
be sent.
I'll approve the list of bills as presented
Okay, Commissioner Robbins.
with the correction.
Okay.
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hash?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
President Mo?
Motion carries. Okay, now that will conclude the business of the Job Development Authority. We will adjourn this meeting. And we'll open the city commission meeting. And the first thing on here, item numbers, we've done call to order and pledge of allegiance are completed. We'll do approval of the minutes of the January 2nd, 2024 meeting.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 2nd, 2024 meeting.
A motion by Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
Commissioner Robbins. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Nothing under awards and proclamations. Public hearings, nothing. Bid opening, nothing. We have visitors and delegations, and first item on visitors and delegation is Lake Region Heritage Center, and Lisa is here to give us a little pep talk.
Yeah,
How
much as
things
I
are
can.
going. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming, Lisa.
thank you for having me again. I have probably a lot to say, but I won't. I didn't know I could be so busy, but with 2 buildings instead of 1, I'm very busy with the Art Center and the Heritage Center. Thankfully, the Heritage Center has been behaving itself facility-wise. It is warm and the boiler is behaving. So it is dry and everything is going well. Thank you, Mike, and your crew for helping us with a strange little thing that I asked him to help us with earlier. We had Great American Inn, is being torn down, and there's a big sculpture in the paddle wheel that they wanted it to be saved. Vasicek said that we could have it, so they cut it off the wall. And I didn't have any idea how to get this thing to the Heritage Center. And so who do I call but, Mike Rostard. And so he saved us, or his guys saved us. Street department saved us, and they brought it over to the Heritage Center, and we're going to put it up on the wall, and it will be beautiful. So thank you again. But yeah, it's busy. The Heritage Center has been having more parties, birthday parties coming out of the woodwork. The weather hasn't been nice to us lately, but we're rescheduling. And every time I have something scheduled at the Art Center, either a blizzard or a rainstorm comes up, but we reschedule that. And but it's all good. And tomorrow I'm doing some education with some volunteers at the Art Center. So tomorrow morning we will be doing some orientation with volunteers. So we plan to be open Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at the Art Center, 10 to 5. And so, yeah, it's coming along slower than I want because I'm impatient, but it's going good. We're going to have right now we have our first art exhibition in there. Sold our first piece of art. So I had our first transaction, really excited about that. And we have another exhibition starting in February, and more to come after that. June 15th is our grand opening. That'll be Art Fest. So we're planning lots of big things for that day. And so downtown Devils Lake hopefully will be a fun day for that day. But
You had it looking great for over Christmas in there, so that was awesome.
yes, yeah,
Looked
Amber
really good.
Fletchuk, she did a lot for that. It was Mike Connor's Christmas blow up things. Glad we have a good fire system in there because I was praying every night that nothing happened with those blow up things. They're old, but yeah, they're good. And it's down, and now we have other things to put up in there. We will be getting track lighting so that you can see the art in the evening even. So yeah, we'll be doing that with electricians and things. We won't be doing that by ourselves, don't worry. We'll be doing it the right way. But yeah, it's been fun. It's a lot of work, but we're excited. We're very glad and fortunate to get the tourism development grant, $30,000. And so that will go a long, long way for furnishings. And I'm excited to finally get some things in that space. And yeah, so it's kind of long. Anything else you guys have questions about?
Keep up the good work. Looking great over there. It's perfect location.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be great. And like I said, I'm impatient and I want it done like yesterday, but it'll come along.
Seeing a building being repurposed for something like this is awesome too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and most people just see that, little area, but it's so
Huge.
much more. So come on in and see what's behind that little area. It's really impressive. So yeah, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Spencer.
Just to release of funds, quarter one funds for
Okay.
Mills, $7,764.50, and then the $7,500 for the part-time employment support, $1,875, for a total of $9,639.50.
Okay, do we have a motion
Make a
to
motion to release the fund.
Commissioner Pierce,
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch? Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
Commissioner Hash?
Aye.
President Moon?
Aye. Motion carries. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for the update.
Thank you.
Next item is number 2 is the Ramsey County Fair Board, and we have members here, and please state your name for the record.
Yes, thank you. Good
Welcome.
evening, and thank you for the opportunity to update the commission on our project and request support. For those of you who don't know me, I am Margaret Kavalivog, a current member of the Ramsey County Fair Foundation Board, as well as the Ramsey County Fair Board. Also in attendance is Paul Becker, our president. We have previously met with this commission last year, And while significant interest was expressed, it was discussed to reapproach the city when we were further along with our project. We are now at the stage where it has come down to financing. And ideally, we are hoping for reciprocity from the city in relation to the county support of the Park District's Family Entertainment Center of $250,000. Additionally, we recognize the city's generous support of $250,000 to the Park District's Family Entertainment Center, as well as the substantial support plan to come from the sales tax revenue debt. Other projects, we recognize the city's generous support or that have been favored by the commission as well, such as the $15,000 towards the rodeo club sponsorship for the amateur rodeo held in Devil's Lake. So we have once again provided supplemental information for your review. The brochure that was provided outlines a rendering of the multipurpose all seasons event center. The building will be attached to the current event center and will focus on providing space for new, growing, and existing events and programs through all seasons. As all of us Dakotans know, an event center that can offer an entire year-round activity roster is a substantial shift from our 4-month out-of-the-year activity roster we currently enjoy. Notable events outlined include, but are not limited to, a professional rodeo that draws national recognition through RFD TV and the Cowboy Channel television airings, 4-H youth activities such as shooting sports and archery, farmers markets, auction sales, safety trainings and awareness events with EMTs, police, and fire, the Ramsey County Roundup, and community-focused events such as steak fries, concerts, and comedian acts. All of these require sizable space and parking, which is currently not existent in the lake region or close surrounding areas, and something this center would offer. In addition, a phase 2 of this project would be to entertain adding the additional space to house the NDSU Extension Office, which is now located in the courthouse, and add additional breakout rooms. The Fair Foundation has been researching this project for quite some time, and with the current rental facility almost paid off and the demonstrated community need for a larger facility, as well as the community support, which is outlined by the current sponsor list, which was also provided in your agenda packet, we have committed to making this happen. The building will be 150 feet wide by 250 feet long with a projected cost of $3 million. The timeline outlines materials to be ordered this February with construction beginning this fall. Our capital campaign kicked off with fundraising letters sent to the 4-H alumni, local businesses, and private individuals. The foundation has also successfully obtained numerous grants for the building, and additionally, board members volunteer time to champion this project. Community events such as steak fries have raised substantial dollars, and holiday fun events, which are offered free to the public, have been hosted to create further awareness. Also, board members continue to meet with local groups such as the Kiwanis and Rotary Clubs to continue to raise awareness throughout the community. In review of the updated P&L and cash flow analysis provided, you will see we have increased our capital campaign funds quite a bit since the last time we approached the commission. The foundation has received just under $1.4 million in grants, pledges, and donations, and have estimated conservative future commitments of $150,000 annually from businesses and individual donations, as well as interior areas that can be purchased to name. Additionally, with our proposed request to the city, as well as the Otto Bremer grant application, we anticipate another $750,000. We are targeting $700,000 in conventional and participated fund financing, and we have met with local banks who agree this is a feasible option that we could financially support, which is also outlined in the P&L provided. As noted earlier, the current building is nearing payoff, freeing up approximately $20,000 annually in loan payment proceeds. And also the Fair Board receives $1 million from Ramsey County per North Dakota Century Code, totaling almost $70,000 this year. Proceeds from the current and potential rental events will continue to fund and sustain the project, with early projections anticipating nearly 10,000 people will gather and engage in this center annually. Currently, we bring in about $10,000 in annual rent from the existing center, which is expected to more than double immediately. Ramsey County itself has a median age that is trending younger and is located next to Benson County and the Spirit Lake Nation, both of which have the second fastest growth rate in people under the age of 30. With this increasing demographic, an urgency has been created to establish more and more programming for young families and youth. and the Ramsey County Fair Foundation is working to meet this urgency. A survey completed in the spring of 2022 indicated general community and youth residents' needs, which addressed items such as boosting regional tourism by building a convention center, and that the youth need something to do and want to be involved in designing the future of the county. The project will be an excellent resource for the community and will have a substantial economic impact to the future of the county. So in summary, we are respectively requesting your support in approving a commitment of $250,000 upfront or in pledged funds to the Ramsey County Fair Foundation's multipurpose event center.
Very nice update. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay,
You were saying 12 months, be used 12 months a year? Will it be insulated and with concrete floor or just dirt floor to start with, or?
To start with, we have how many square feet of,
30 feet on 2 sides was in the bid. We discussed putting concrete in all of it, and it was a little over 200,000 additional if we do that. So it's the decision we'll have to make.
What did you guys decide for the seating in there?
so we are having bleacher sections, retractable bleacher sections for the seating. And then also that's part of our buy to name as further support for the project to name a section of the bleachers. People can sponsor funds to name them out. And then that way it can be used for multiple areas if you retract the bleachers across the concrete.
So I remember one meeting we sat in that was being discussed on how the seating was gonna go, so I didn't know if you guys,
That isn't in the bid, but that's, we got some wish list things there.
there will be a lot more of those, I'm sure. It's an all heated facility too, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Do they have natural gas out there?
I think that we had
That
gotten
is
the,
part of the,
Yeah.
we will get natural gas out there when we build it, yeah.
and would you be able to rent both the existing and that they'll both can be rented at the same time to do different things and all that? Okay.
correct. We're anticipating in the bid is the breezeway connecting the two buildings.
Just want to make sure if it was like an all or none type
Right.
of thing, so.
I know we've committed,
Some that just need a little space.
Yeah.
we've committed a lot of money. Spencer, what are we looking at or which?
Do you feel the eyes on you, Spencer?
You know, we've,
So, okay,
go ahead.
do you,
No, go ahead, Spencer.
so for requests like this, right, the high dollar request, okay, that I think of the two buckets of money that we kind of set aside. We have the Jobs Development Authority, which is the growth fund, okay? Just a recap of that. We started the year at $750,000 in the growth fund. We made some moves with $200,000 to the Encore 301 movie theater project, and it was something that was long heard by city leaders. It was the desire. We had a local group of folks that were ready to take the wheel, and so we helped get that off the ground. The Western Bank and Summers Manufacturing Loan Guarantee was a $343,000 check that we wrote, really to keep a premier employer in our town, in a very simple overcharacterization, put it. And so now we're at a little over $450,000 in the growth fund. Okay, so we don't have as much flexibility as we used to there. We had transferred out $350,000 for quality of life investments. It was $250 to the park district for the dockside entertainment in match with the county, and then
Did we commit 25,000 a year for?
that's coming out of the growth fund as well, right? So on top of we also have obligated ourselves the next 10 years, right?
Okay.
With an additional
Well, the
250
quality
for
of
that
life one
project.
that came out of the
Yeah.
Forward Devil's Lake.
Yeah, and so, and then the 350K, we had the 250 for the park district, and then the 100, which is supporting the arts center downtown with the rent and the utilities. Okay, so those are the buckets. Okay, so anything else and going above and beyond, if the commission expresses a huge desire, we really got to financially support this, and to that level, which maybe there's a middle ground, I'm not sure, but if that's a huge desire of the commission, and then that's your judgment to call. I know it's outside of town, those sorts of things. You guys are paid to make that decision, right? I want to make sure to give you the information that you need to make it. But it's going to come with a cost and an opportunity cost and a trade-off for the city's priorities moving forward. That's it. There's just, given the buckets that we have, okay? So if you say, hey, Spencer, make it happen, we can work up a plan, but there will be trade-offs, is basically what I'm communicating. And I think, there's been a lot of folks that have come as of late. We all know that there was a lot of federal money pumped into the community, okay? Some people have asked, we made a couple big strategic moves. And then, to be frank, and I say this with all due respect, some checks have been written that people haven't even asked for, right? And those all come with opportunity costs and trade-offs as well. So if I get a signal from the commission that says, hey, Spencer, find a way, we're gonna have to sharpen our pencils. But like I said, just to be blunt, it will come with trade-offs with the city's own priorities.
So the initial upfront money is not there. That's easy enough said, correct?
Not without an additional
Yeah.
transfer for somewhere else,
Yeah.
right? And so,
So 50 grand over the course of 5 years would you be able to pull that off, do you think?
again, it goes down
Yeah,
to,
with
like,
trade-off.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think about the growth fund, right? Can we sell that as a growth thing for the area? Okay. Well, we're doing the 25,000. We knocked that fund down from 750 all the way down to a little over 450. We're set to, break over 80 grand right now. So if we do that, it's going to take longer for the growth fund to grow again, so that you can make those big, huge investments if they do come along. And those are all judgment calls to make on behalf of the city commission. And as staff, will make sure you have the information. Okay. But like I said, there will be trade-offs, right? It's not like the one-time cash that we've got. And we have our own priorities as far as what we want to do with some facilities. We have big infrastructure, and we try to lay out the plan, right? Our capital improvement plans, our equipment replacement schedules. And so we want to make sure that we take care of home base for you. And I think we brought some plans for you for that. And we always have to be able to adapt to changing circumstances. But I'm just being blunt that it will come with trade-offs, and we will have to sacrifice some of our strategic goals if you want to do this.
I feel that, I feel this is a part of the growth of our area, and I see out there myself, I don't know if any of you have been out there during their events they do hold. They're very well attended, and the youth that is included in those is massive. So just doing it the right way. Paying over a course of years, I think, is
Like say, it's like anything, it's only going to get more expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's 3 million today.
Yeah.
5 years from now, it's going to be 6 million or whatever the case might be. And it's going to hurt maybe a little bit now, and you'll feel uncomfortable. But I think it's we've been waiting for years to do some of these opportunistic things.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate they all come at one time, but I have no problem trying to help out.
We just got to keep in mind that we have the hospital too to kind of consider, that potential new hospital if that comes to fruition. That's going to be a significant amount of money down the road too. So just those are things we have to, keep in mind,
This is true.
because that's going to cost some money too. So
And it is definitely, pledged funds is totally acceptable, 5 years, 10 years.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sponsorships coming in with substantial investment, but over a period of 5 to 10 years.
I love the idea. I think it's a great addition to our community. So there's no doubt about it. It's worthy of our community and worthy of support. It's just a matter of, we get a lot of requests too, and it's like, it costs a lot of money, and most of them have been significant dollars.
Right.
So
I think since the last time we came in, the bid increased
About 200.
about
yeah,
200,000
that doesn't surprise anybody.
in several months.
Mhm.
So like you said, it
The
continues
one that
to
comes
get
to my mind
more
is when they were going to do the the community event center up in the high school, or the college.
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
When they did that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
24 million. I bet you wouldn't touch it for 50 million now, type of thing. So was it the right thing to do not to build it? I don't know, but in retrospect, it was probably as cheap as it was gonna get.
Right.
Mhm.
So I don't know, are you comfortable taking direction now, or do we wanna have a?
Look at it, or
I
you know,
don't-
what are we
Well, I
thinking,
mean-
though? Maybe we need to have an idea what dollar amount are we thinking, so.
I heard everything you said. Is it better to have it on a piece of paper in front of us, or?
Well, like I said, we can go to the drawing board, okay, but, well, like I said, there will be trade-offs. The city will have to sacrifice some of its strategic flexibility in the future to make this happen, if that's the desire. And again, it's more of a regional thing. Some of the things that we've done in the past have been in the core of the town, like the Arts Center downtown, this movie theater, right? The event center with our little brother, the Park District, right? Because they're kind of our extension arm of us in North Dakota Century Code. So, again, I just hope be blunt and set expectations if you send me the drawing board to do that.
Mhm.
You got me thinking of that hospital too.
And there may be things that I'm not even thinking about yet.
The other thing too, looking at sanitation right now, if we make some transitions, bring forward a recommendation, and the commission views that kind of looking at automating some of our sanitation operations is a priority, that's going to come with a price tag too, right? Different pots of money, different locations, different funding sources, okay, but they're all integrated, very intertwined.
Well, I'm myself personally, after doing this for 12 years or whatever it is, and hearing a lot of conversations about there's nothing to do in town for kids or this or that or whatever age group, and nothing has been presented in the last 10 to 12 years. I just think it's awesome that it's there. It's just unfortunate the money thing isn't right, but I would fully support trying to make a $50,000 commitment over the next 5 years to help them out. I don't know if we want to, well, I don't want it to die for lack of a second or anything like that. So does everybody want a little more information?
Well, do you
Feel
want to
better
give them a
about
little time to kind of research it? I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just want to know that it's the right thing and we're able to do it. Maybe still be able
I
to.
don't know.
Doesn't make sense. I want to see numbers.
Yeah,
Can you put something together for the next meeting and then we can?
The commission like to see this, of course they can.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'd suggest that you put something together on paper that we can look at it and process it a little better
Yeah, because I no doubt want to support it, no doubt.
somehow.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, so I mean, I'm just with you guys too.
It's way out what all our needs are down, make sure it's,
I think from our perspective, we were visiting with Gleason and he said he'd need to order the materials by February to get the materials here and have the building erected by September 1st. Due to the timing, he'd want it up by
By-
that size of a building
by
up by
pledging-
September
by
1st.
pledging though will help you do that.
Yes, yes. And so from your commitment to the support of the project, then we can move forward with the bank financing and the fund financing from different sponsors that we have.
Do you solicit more than one proposal for the, I'm assuming you're meaning Dennis Gleason type of thing.
Yes, we did put this out on bids.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's probably a silly question, but, all right. All right. Yeah. So when do we meet in February?
That would be the 5th.
Can we just feel good about giving you a solid answer on the 5th?
That would be perfect,
I didn't
yeah.
expect the answer tonight.
Okay, all
I
right,
don't
all right.
normally want.
Well,
Yeah. And please feel free to look, at this in a 5-year and 10-year pledge commitment. I mean, we understand that there's competing priorities for
even a
the city.
10-year wouldn't, I don't know, but that's kind of,
25 grand a year.
yeah, that'd be probably,
It's
Like-
definitely not going away.
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
Well, yeah, it's here for the long run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. Next item, commission portfolios. Commissioner Hatch.
Anything for sanitation, Mike? Nothing tonight, Commissioner. If you have questions. Rob?
I just update's been real busy with property tax credit programs and applications. I have set up where I am at the Lake Region Public Library when the rest of this month on Wednesdays from 1 to 3 to help individuals with the primary residence property tax credit application, as well as homestead tax credit applications. So people are encouraged to come to the library from 1 to 3 on Wednesdays through the rest of January. I will also be there February 14th and 28th, and then we'll probably set some dates in March as well, just to try and get people into the library. Plus, it's a little bit more room to be able to help people with those applications. But that's all I've got.
When are those homestead tax credits and like the veterans disability, when is that gonna come before us to?
That'll be with the Board of Equalization meeting. That'll be in April,
In April.
first half of April. Yeah.
Well, thank you for going over and helping them out at the library.
Yeah.
I like that idea. That's a good place to have that.
Right.
I saw that and it was like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's it for me.
That's it?
Other than I'll be gone again next week till the 31st
Wish you luck with that.
with my dad, so.
Okay, thank you. All right, Commissioner Robbins.
Mike, anything with the streets?
I have nothing for streets unless you have questions.
Engineering?
Engineering, there's a few items on the agenda that we'll be discussing yet tonight, but nothing other than what's on the agenda.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'm upside down here. Let me get here. One second here. Commissioner Pierce.
Chief Bennett.
So I got a couple things tonight. The NDFA Fire Convention will be here in June 6th through the 8th. The convention committee asked that I come and present to the commission to see if there would be any support for funds to support one of the keynote speakers. The NDFA is kicking in some of the money for the keynote speakers, so the full cost to get the speaker here, if you guys so choose to cover it, would be $6,500. They are going to go to the Ramsey County Commission also and see if they'll pay for half of that. So that is something that they asked me to come in and speak to you guys about to see if you'd be willing to cover part of the keynote speaker.
I don't know, has it been, I don't know where it's held in the past, but I don't know.
It gets rotated throughout the state, usually the bigger cities, and to get the convention, we planned it, I think, well, it was supposed to be here during the COVID year.
Yep.
And then that got canceled and everything, so then it has to fall in line because of the Devil's Run. So you can only have it at a certain time to meet it, so this year it happened to fall in line.
Yep, correct.
And so the last time we had the convention was in 2004. That's when I became fire chief.
Yeah,
You don't just
Is
get
it just customary that the
And then-
city hosting, is that part of their bid?
Yeah, yeah. But, the chamber puts out a package that, try to host it. You bring about 5, 6, maybe even 800 people, as many to town. So just helping out a little bit.
Yeah,
It's a
and
big
there's-
event and special when you don't get it.
Yeah, there's two keynote speakers, and I believe Devils Lake Rural and Gesner Ironworks sponsored the second speaker, so.
And usually these speakers are high up, well-respected people in the fire service at the national level, so they don't come at a cheap rate. That's, so they're like, when they walk in the door, everybody listens type of guys.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the full $6,500. Since, the rural, the county's already put the money in for the other speaker.
Or were you saying that somebody's gonna approach the county commission?
They said if for whatever reason, if they couldn't get the full funding here, that they would present to the county commission to see if they would be willing to pay for half of it also.
In the scheme of things, it's $6,500,
So that's a motion.
Yeah, the motion.
Okay, a motion. Is there a second?
Trying to look at our bill payers over there.
Are you nervous? Is there,
Another
yeah,
6,500 type of thing.
Just take it out of fire department's operations.
Oh, okay, well, if it's available, I'll second the motion.
okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Pierce, second by Commissioner Robbins to pay 100% of it. Is there any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
President Moore.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay, the second thing I have, as we're getting closer to the fishing derby, we've been able to run some of the numbers. And this year we'll be spending over 335,000 in prizes. And locally, we were able to spend 293,000 on prizes in town. So that was huge for us to try and kind of keep everything as local as possible. So to hit that 293,000 mark, we thought that was pretty big deal. So
How's the ice looking?
we're still monitoring. We'll know more this Saturday. So other than that, I have nothing further at this time.
And of course, as you know, our LEC meeting is tomorrow. So other than that, Mayor, in case you have any questions, that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Under Commissioner Hamry's portfolio, Mike?
I have nothing for utilities today, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief?
I was gonna ask for $6,500 for a new jacket, but.
Oh, that's all you want for a jacket?
That is a retirement party.
No, I've got nothing from the PD, we're fine.
Okay. Spencer?
Just an update, I've had kind of extensive conversations surrounding the airport and the finances and the reimbursement out there. We did receive the $3.6 million from the feds. I believe it was the Friday after the commission meeting.
Wow.
Okay,
That
and
amazes
then
me.
the airport is ready to work collaboratively with us and the Aeronautics Commission. Recall, we've committed about $1.1 million to cover the 50/50 on the cost overrun of the Apron Taxiway project and terminal. I think they were kind of a package deal, and combined it went over. And to reduce the amount of debt that they have on the books, to release those funds. And so we're working on the final number. Airport manager did email me last week, Friday, with a specific number. So we're going to make sure we have all the documentation in place, because we are using our prairie dog money for that, and the state watches that very closely. So we'll have that before you to pay off our portion of that at the next meeting is the goal. So,
Okay.
and it, I believe it's 922,000 to start with this. So
Excuse me. Okay. Is that it?
that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. We'll go into old business, and the number one item, termination of agreement with Forward Devils Lake.
Being as that we've signed that new agreement, this is just formally terminating our previous agreement with Forward Devils Lake, and there was a letter with notice that was sent to them in November notifying them of our intent. So just request that you terminate that previous agreement.
Make a motion to terminate the previous agreement with Forward Devils Lake.
Commissioner Pierce,
No second.
Commissioner Hatch. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, consent agenda, we have nothing. Under new business, number one, new single-family dwelling construction property tax exemption. Is that Rob?
Yep, I've got that one. So I've done a little bit of research. It came to my attention that we have a program that provides a tax exemption for new primary or single-family residence construction. And in looking at that, doing my research, I found that hang on, I lost my train of thought here. The resolution that was last done by the city was done in 1997. And since then, there's been updates to the Century Code that allow that exemption to be from $75,000 as it currently is to $150,000. And so I wanted to just present and get that resolution updated. So that's what I have proposed before you and the options that the commission would have would be to either just withdraw the resolution and no longer provide that tax exemption, or to amend it to leave it at $75,000 or amend it up to $150,000. Or you could go at any other number there and that you would prefer.
But it's kind of an incentive to want to get people to build in our community, right?
Correct.
What do they
correct.
consider a single-family dwelling? Is it
So-
like condos or?
Condos would fall in that, but it's a single family, so you can't do like apartment complexes or.
That's what I was asking, parking complexes. I don't
And
even
this
know.
is for
Right.
how long? Is it
It's a 2-year
2-year.
tax exemption for up to that value.
$50,000 is tax exempt.
Mhm.
Correct, would that be correct?
or 75 right now?
Right now it's
Yeah.
75.
Yeah, so, yeah, so when I built my house in 2000, that 75,000 felt like it helped considerably. Granted, I can't remember what the dollar amount was, but it did give me a little bit of balance. It made me go this way instead of this way.
Right,
type of thing,
and,
so.
and I did put a breakdown in there of what you would look at for an approximate, what the tax savings would be for that homeowner. And so at $75,000, I did use effective tax rate of 1.52%. It's actually 1.51% right now. So minimal, but it's a difference. But on a $75,000 home, that's $1,140 per year. So just, $2,280 over the course of 2 years.
I really think we should incentivize people to try to live in or move into town. And one way of doing so is, doing something like that, annex, because we have a big need for middle income or middle level housing.
Yeah.
And if we don't do something to incentivize them to try to move to town, so I personally like the idea to go up to 150.
And so
Is
I
it-
did provide a draft of the resolution, making the change up to $150,000. There were two other things that I would like to potentially have changed in there. One was to set the application period from within 30 days of beginning of construction to within 30 days of completion of construction. And then the other was specific to remove the statement requiring an annual review by the commission, which hasn't been done as far as I can tell since 1997. But the original resolution indicated that it had to be reviewed annually. And just to remove that, and I'll just bring it back in front of the commission if there are any changes need to be done down the road.
Is 150 enough? And it costs like 300,000 to build a house. now.
Century Code only allows 150 as the max.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't go any higher
All
than
right.
that.
I guess that takes care of that.
And with this too, we have other tax exemption programs that would promote potential growth and revitalization that I plan on looking at after we get through this one. So now I have more of an understanding of what direction the commission would like to go with. So you'll see another resolution within the next month coming from me on some of those other programs.
I've been saying for years, we got too much of the higher end homes and then too much of the lower end, apartments. We don't have anything for a working middle class family to be able to live here. If we want to incite growth in this community,
And
We
give them
need
an
that.
incentive to come into town, build our tax base, help us all pay our less tax.
So the recommendation then with the discussion that's been had is to approve the resolution as presented.
I would make the motion to do exactly that.
Okay, we have a motion for Commissioner Robbins
second that motion.
and Commissioner Pierce second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Great research, Rob.
Thank you. Item number 2, authorized call for bids for utility pickup. Mike?
There's a memo included within the commission packet. Within utilities, actually, they have two pickups that are budgeted for purchase in 2024. The utility supervisor requested authorization and call for bids for one of those pickups. He wants to see where that bid comes in and see where we go from there.
Make a motion to open the call for bids for the utilities pickup.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second?
second Commissioner Robbins. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item number 3, approval of land acquisition, on the levy. Got that right. Spit it out for Hanson.
Included within the commission packet are two agreements. The first agreement is for Hanson. The agreement is for the purchase of a small strip of property adjacent to the airport. It's right along the roadway on the west side of the airport. The roadway on the west side of the airport it's a roadway that's on top of our flood protection. And once the roadway and flood protection on that area was constructed, and the final survey was complete, it was determined that we needed an additional strip of property along the toe to make sure that we have enough vegetation-free zone is what it's called, this extra strip of property. So the Corps requested that we acquire these 2 strips of property to make sure that we have the adequate property for the footprint of the flood protection. First one is with Hanson. We're acquiring 0.33 acres of property. For that, the city is paying $3,044.40. Recommend approval of the agreement.
I'll make a motion to approve the first agreement with Hanson.
Commissioner Robbins, motion,
Second.
second Commissioner Hatch. Any discussion?
Where does that money come from, Spencer?
We have a large flood protection project line item. It's a negative cash balance of about 3.9 million right now. And so we're expecting what, 600 from the Corps, is that right, Mike? Is it 600? Is the number
Should be
now?
from the Bank of North.
From the Bank of North Dakota,
I
yeah.
was just
So,
wondering
yeah,
exactly.
so we charge all this stuff to that project, and we typically throw $300,000 a year at that to pay it off.
These parcels, they qualify for LERD credit for the project. So at the end of the day, 75% of the expense is federal cost, 25% is local, but we're required to acquire it. We're just credited 75% towards the total project cost for both of these.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hatch?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
President Moe?
All right, motion carries. Next item, number 4, approval of land acquisition for the levy from Weed.
Very similar agreement. In this particular case, that strip of property is a little bit longer, a little bit wider, covers 0.64 acres. And as outlined in the agreement, the city will pay the landowner $4,253.28 for the 0.64 acres. The agreement's been reviewed by the Corps and approved. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve the land acquisition from Weed.
Commissioner Pierce moved,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Hatch. Any further discussion?
One thing I would like to say is both property owners were very good to work with. So I appreciate them their understanding that we had to come back to them and acquire more property, and they were willing to do what was required to complete the project for us. So they were very good to deal with.
Okay. Any more discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hatch?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
President Moe?
Aye, motion carried. Item number 5, approval of land acquisition for Rowe for Bingham. What's our
Right of way.
right of way? Okay,
Sorry,
thank you.
we should have been a little clearer with that.
Okay, these acronyms. Okay, for Bingham.
Included within the commission packet is an agreement that outlines the terms of the acquisition. In this particular case, Mr. Bingham owns a lot that's immediately adjacent to the section line, and that property was platted years and years ago in the 1960s, and that effectively closed the section line. And typically in North Dakota, there's a reserved strip of 33 feet on either side of a section line that can be used for developing roadways. In this particular case, we don't have that 33 feet. And so we had offset the roadway a little bit when there were some additional improvements along 17th Street Southeast. But with the current project that we're looking at with paving that roadway, we needed to acquire some real estate from Mr. Bingham. So we had meetings with Mr. Bingham, and he was willing to provide the property in exchange for the city extending some asphalt pavement on 8th Avenue. We would like to pave all of 8th Avenue, but south of 17th Street is outside city limits. And so when we were looking at it, we did, because there is federal money involved, we had included a portion of 8th Avenue going south of 17th Street in our environmental review for the project. So we were able to extend that pavement in exchange for that additional asphalt as part of the project. Mr. Bingham is willing to donate the 10-foot strip and provide us a temporary construction easement. That lot is outside city limits, so we can't special assess that lot until some future time if it annexes. At this point, I don't see annexation. One thing that is included in the agreement is there is a potential that the project doesn't proceed. If the bids that we receive this spring are not favorable, it could be that that project's delayed. So with that, if the project isn't built, the property owner would have already conveyed the property through a quitclaim deed. So if within the agreement, if we don't construct the project, we don't extend the asphalt, then we would pay Mr. Bingham $2,625 for that 10-foot strip. And that's part of the paperwork that you see within the agreement for broker opinion value of the property. If you look, you can see the map that shows the temporary construction easement as well as the acquisition strip. Recommend approval of the agreement so that we can complete the project.
I'll make a motion to approve the agreement with, a second here.
Mr.
Bingham.
Brad
Mr. Bingham.
Bingham Jr.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
President Moe.
Aye, motion carries. Item 6, preliminary report and directing preparation of plans and specifications for Street Improvement District 8024, 8th Street Northwest, 9th Street Northwest, 10th Street Northwest, and 11th Street Northwest.
The preliminary engineering report outlines improvement to the roadways that are west of College Drive and south of 14th Street Northwest. We looked at those roadways. Many of those roadways, they require a lot of work from our street department in order just to fill potholes and to try and make things hold together for the traveling public. Recently, we did some water main replacement in that area, replaced the old cast iron water mains. And now we're in a position where we'd like to improve the roadways in that area. And so with that, we looked at it, and for the most part, we're looking at a mill and overlay type project. There are areas of curb that'll have to be repaired. We have to make sure that we address some drainage issues. There are some sections of roadway in that area that need some structural improvement, so we'll be doing some full depth repair. And with that, we're looking at a total project cost estimated of about $2.55 million. And of that amount, approximately $2.2 million is estimated for construction, and $0.35 million estimated for, contingencies, engineering, admin, legal, and administrative related costs. Because the asphalt currently exists, we would be, based on our current policy, we would be splitting that cost share 75% city, 25% will be special assessed to the benefit of properties. So with approval of the preliminary report and directing advertisement or development of the plans and specifications for the project, that project will be proceeding, and we hope to have a spring bid opening.
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Hatch,
Second.
Commissioner Robbins. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carried. Last item, number 7, pay estimate number 10, City Project 220201, water main replacement 27-22.
This is the final pay estimate for the work over on the west side water main replacement. So that's why it's the final pay estimate. And with that, we're releasing all the retainage. Total to this estimate, $16,111.68. Recommend approval.
Make a motion to approve the final payment.
Commissioner Pierce,
Second.
Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Hash.
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins.
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce.
Aye.
President Moe.
Aye, motion carries. Okay, citizen comment. We have nothing. Under informational items, we have the 2023 year-end information on sales tax, building permit, utility collections, and investment portfolios. So, any questions on that? If not, we will move on to a motion to approve the list of bills as submitted.
I'll make a motion to pay the bills.
Commissioner Robbins,
I'll second.
Commissioner Hatch, Any discussion? Roll call.
Commissioner Ash?
Aye.
Commissioner Robbins?
Aye.
Commissioner Pierce?
Aye.
President Long?
Aye, motion carried. There's no other business to come before the commission. Meeting adjourned.